Hello, welcome back to another exciting episode of Two Limes and a Lemon podcast. And this week we're finalising our journey through found footage.
Are we having theme music? Like, how do we... Is it just start with us talking?
Yeah, Dave's going to do us some, like, a jingle, I think.
Dave.
Nat.
Danielle.
Two Limes
and a Lemon.
This week we are checking out the film Frogman, directed by Anthony Cousins. But before we delve and hop on to that lily pad of a film, I'm going to introduce my two co-hosts, Danielle and Natalie. Say hello.
Did you guys hear that too?
I heard, like, I don't know.
It's the crickets of the podcast.
So I'm with Nat and Danielle, my little frog friends.
Hi.
Thanks for that.
Before we even start, so usually we go to talk about what we've been up to this week, but I just want to state first that each week we've been forgetting to do this, but we have been doing this for over a year now. So happy birthday to Two Limes and a Lemon podcast.
Happy birthday.
The few people that do listen to us, thank you very much for sticking with us so far. We hope to bring
Mom.
more of you along on the journey. Yeah, thanks family. Thanks Natalie for listening. So thank you very much. We'll continue making these because we enjoy it. We won't stop until we find it a chore, and it's not a chore because I personally feel like I'm watching films that I probably wouldn't watch.
Definitely.
Usually. So I feel, and then we can talk about it. It's not that big of a thing to edit, so I enjoy it anyway, and it's something to do for fun with your friends. So podcasting, if you want to do it in your own time, find a few friends and start talking about your favourite stuff. If we can do it,
anyone can.
Yeah. The internet is infinite. You can put whatever you want on there. First thing first, we do a thing called What Have You Been Consuming? So that could be things that you've been up to in the week. So that could be food, going to watch a film, playing a game, going outside, updates on pets. It's completely up to you. So Danielle, let's start with you. What have you been doing? What have you been consuming?
Yesterday, I went and saw another musical. It's the last musical of my summer series. So I saw the play Suffs, which is a musical. It won a bunch of Tony Awards 2 or 3 years ago, and it's on a national tour of the U.S. right now. But what's interesting is it was filmed for PBS, which is the public broadcasting system in the U.S., which is like public television, and they now have it free on YouTube. So what is Suffs, you ask? It's about the turn of the century suffrage movement in the United States, so the movement to get the right to vote for women. There's like two guards of suffrage movement going on at the time that this play takes place. There's kind of what the Mother and Mary Poppins represented, which was the old guard, and they're very much like, let your mother vote, let your wife vote. Think of it as a second vote for the man in the household, because she's always going to go with he says, and, trying to go from that perspective. And then this like young guard who is like, no, we have to, like, we're going to protest against the president because he won't do this, and hunger strike and all of this other stuff, and sort of how both of these camps went on to shape the movement. I know in general, feminist movements, at least in the U.S., can at times get criticized for being a little whitewashed, and it becomes like white women fighting for things and kind of ignoring the other women in the country. And this took like a pretty stark look at that and said, yeah, this movement was predominantly white women, and black women did support the movement, and there was absolutely no way that they were going to get anything changed for them, and they were still treated like the lower class within that movement, but they still stood alongside and fought for the same things because they knew eventually it would get transferred to them. So I was glad that they didn't shy away from showing stuff like that. Hey Nat, what have you been up to?
Thank you for asking. So I watched the movie Send Help with Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, which is currently airing on Disney Plus, I believe. thought it was really good, actually. I kind of went into it knowing obviously there was kind of going to be a twist, but I never knew like it was going to go as hard hitting, I suppose. But there is some twists and turns in there. Like, it's very hard to say who the good person and who the bad person is in the situation. But it was very good. It did keep me guessing. I didn't like I say, it's hard because like at the beginning you're like, oh, they're so mean to her. Like, she deserves to be horrible to them on the like when the plane's going down and stuff. But then as it progresses, you're like, maybe they don't deserve it as much as she's giving it to them, sort of thing. It's good to see Dylan O'Brien in something as well, because like I don't think I've seen him in much since The Maze Runner, to be fair.
Well, I saw Christopher Nolan's big epic movie, The Odyssey.
How did you watch it, Dave?
I watched it with my eyes, and it was something to behold.
I thought you were going to say you saw it in 4D. Apparently, it's playing in 4D in some places where they have like water that sprays on you.
Oh, that would be
I
amazing.
saw that. It does look good. Apparently, people were getting like seasick.
Yeah, I think I would get
it's
seasick.
the spray of the ocean in the cinema. It's like 6 gallons of water being sprayed in the audience. I enjoyed it. I feel like it was a big epic movie. It has made me want to string a bow and pluck it. I'm all for the meme. My entire Instagram page is full of the Odyssey memes. I've got Robert Pattinson just talking about beggars and he's like, someone get rid of these beggars. But I think overall the film was great. I felt it was something new. It's like one of those old fantasy films, but they've just sort of revitalized it.
It's got like everybody that's been in any Christopher Nolan film in it, right?
Anne Hathaway was great. She was one of my favorites. Anne Hathaway and Robert Pattinson.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt Damon.
They were really great. Matt Damon was okay. He was better than I thought. I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh, Matt Damon as I can't remember his name. Odysseus, the main character. I was like, really, Matt Damon? All right, okay. And then like he was good, but I just thought, Anne Hathaway was really cool. But yeah, if you haven't seen The Odyssey, well, by the time this comes out, Odyssey is going to be out on DVD. So the film that we checked out this week is the film Frogman. It is a found footage film that I've heard about, but never sort of desired to watch until now. I'm happy I did. And we're going through why I chose that film later on. But just for those who've not seen Frogman, if you want to watch it first, obviously we're going to have spoilers, so stop the podcast, go check out Frogman and come back. If not, I'm going to give you a quick little overview of what the film is about.
Why would you put them through it, Dave? Why would you send them away to watch Frogman?
It is free. I found it free on Tubi, which is like a free movie with commercial streaming thing. So it's like low risk, but we'll get into the...
Check out Frogman on Tubi if you want, if you've got it on in your area. Frogman centres around a character called Dallas, who, as a child, captures footage of him on a family trip in the 90s. So we flash forwards to the present day, and Dallas is an aspiring filmmaker. He calls upon his sassy friend Scotty to be his camera operator, who then sort of ropes Dallas to bring his situationship friend Amy into the mix, who's going to move to California to pursue her acting career. What begins as sort of a light-hearted documentary-style kind of found footage movie soon spirals into a frog-hopping nightmare. They uncover Frogman himself and the cult surrounding him. Did I mention he also had a magic wand? Okay, so why did I pick this film? I have like an initial fear, I don't know where it started, of toads and frogs. Mostly toads, but anything like that's quite large and like the eyes and the hands and the feet of a frog or a toad terrifies me. I can't look at it. It freaks me out. Like if you send me photos of frogs or frogs doing things, I go, oh, I can't. I could deal with like a really small, tiny frog because they're not too bad. But like if it's a big monster frog.
I mean, this is a dangerous game. You're in charge of the Instagram, and now you're telling everybody that if people send you frog pictures,
they won't send me. It's only again the viewers are very nice people, and they don't send me frog stuff. But no, frogs and toads.
What about Kermit?
Kermit, he's a puppet. It's fine. I can deal with him.
Also, he says that he's like, I'm not as scared of frogs, but he totally is, because once we went to the forest and there was loads of frogs hatching and he was freaking out.
That was the Centre Parks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Outside, there was thousands of frogs. Another Centre Parks.
Yeah, it all comes back to Centre Parks.
What do you think they'll do to you?
Get in his mouth, in his ears.
Oh.
Yeah, I just
Your
don't like
butthole.
the idea. I think they're just like the idea of like a big frog. I went to a place up north where it's got a Mother Shipton's cave. It's all about this witch. And one of the things you can do is make a wish in her well. You put your hand in the water. It's supposed to be like minerals and stuff. And you can make a hopeful wish about the future. However, it is guarded by a frog. Not a real frog, it's a fake frog, a statue of a frog.
Right.
But it's painted to look realistic. But it took me a good 45 minutes to put my hand in that water for 5 seconds and make a wish. It was just, I couldn't do it. Frogs, no. So,
why didn't you wish for all frogs in the world to be dead? Use your wish.
Just wish for your phobia to be lifted rather than killing all the frogs.
Yeah, that's a nicer way to think about it.
have you got any like really silly phobias like that?
Well, I mean, I'm scared of spiders, but not all spiders. Like, they've got to be over a certain ilk for me to be scared of them.
But like, if you watched a movie, would you be like, I can still watch it if it's got a spider in it?
I mean, I might look away. Like, arachnophobia. I could watch, but there was, like, certain scenes, like, there's the one where they're, like, camping. I haven't watched it in donkey's years, but I'm sure there's, like, one in a shoe of somebody's. Like, that bothers me, because I'm like, well, that could easily happen. But, like, eight-legged freaks, like, that's not going to bother me.
If they did eight-legged freaks, it's like that as a frog, so I couldn't watch that. They're too big. That would be too much. I couldn't do it. I couldn't watch that. No.
You know, you bringing up arachnophobia, like, I don't have any pest phobias or anything, but in movies where there is like a mass of something like that, that does get under my, like, I feel my skin crawling. So like arachnophobia, when there's just like large amounts of, like, a blanket of spiders.
I think we can all agree it's not the greatest of films, but I feel like it's got heart to it in some sense. I did, as someone who hates frogs, did sort of have to look away most of the time when the frog appeared. The first shot when the kid finds the frog in the
woods,
in the bushes, I couldn't look at it.
That was great. That was the best. That was the best part of the movie. It's about 5 minutes in, so once you've seen that scene, you've peaked in the movie.
Right, is that it? You didn't need to see any more?
You didn't really. Like, that was probably the best representation of the costume of the Frogman. Like, even I was like, that's a good costume.
I equate this to, it's similar for me that Willow Creek was, where it was a lot, it was way too long with real people and etc. And then I thought that the actual, like, once you get into the woods to the end, I thought was effective.
It's a rubbish version of Willow Creek, because I was like, they're doing interviews with the locals, but whereas in Willow Creek, the locals were all kind of a bit quirky, they all had like their own personalities. These were just like mundane people that were just like, yes, no, like it was just like the worst interview.
Well, no, that gets to the point of it. It's the worst documentary they're making. Like, the Willow Creek guy is not making a good documentary. He doesn't know much what he's doing, but he knows so much more than what they do. Like, poor Dallas just has this passion project because, you know, he's gone crazy all his life because he saw this Frogman when he was 12. And he pays his two friends to come along with him. And his two friends are supposed to have some sort of, like, creative experience. At one point, it said that he pays Scotty $1,000 to film. And then he also, like, bribes Amy, who's supposed to be an actress who's going to make a career in LA.
But Amy has more ideas about this. Like, he was awful, Dallas, at filmmaking. Even Amy's better at filmmaking than he is. They see the sign about the Frogman, and she's like, we should film that. And he's like, nah.
And then they get in front of it, and she just screws around. She doesn't even film anything that it would be usable for a documentary.
I don't get why she had an accent.
Yeah, she couldn't suck it up and just act like somebody that was interested in the documentary. Instead, she has to like put on this character, and her and Scotty are just like giggling and screwing it up the whole time. Which, to be fair, yeah, the Frogman thing is like kind of silly. The friend is a little bit ill-prepared for this and has this dumb idea, but he's paid you, and you're supposed to be like his best friends in life. Humor him. And
saying that, when in my head, when he was like, "Oh, you shoot wedding videos, you're perfect," I was like, "Great, we're gonna watch a found footage movie where the cameraman knows what they're doing." No. And even then, the camera's all over the place. The shooting on, obviously, is like 90s.
Oh yeah, it's like a proper camera. Yeah.
Scotty's contribution was like all this sneaky bitchy stuff. Like Amy and Dallas are having a heart-to-heart in the car, and Scotty pretends to be asleep and like positions the camera so that he can capture this whole like awkward conversation between these two people. Awful friend.
I feel like most of their shots they've done in like them trying to get Amy to get on board with going to film the film. Yeah, like the car scene when they're in the hotel. They do a lot of shots where they just sort of leave the camera on the side and film. And the sound quality is not the greatest, so you can't really hear what they're talking about at points. Because I know they're using a low-level camera, but it's still like I need to know what the actors are saying. So some of the times, yeah, I had no idea what was being said. Or they could have summed it up a little bit quicker, because then I could have been like, right, they're moving along. Those scenes felt longer than needed, like you said.
I do feel like Frogman should have been in a swamp and not just the woods. Where the location for me was a bit of a like, why is he just in the woods? Why isn't he in like a swampy mangrove sort of thing?
Well, I think this is another real cryptid. I mean, real quote unquote cryptid. Like, I think there is a legend of Frogman in this Ohio town. He lives near a
bridge, apparently.
Yeah, and Ohio isn't swampy, so I can kind of believe that.
There could have been more frogs in the film.
We should have seen more frogs.
You heard, every time there was leading near Frogman, you'd hear this like slow rise of like sound effect of frogs being played, and I was like, I expected to see like a sea of frogs.
I will say something that I thought, a technique that I really thought worked was because Frogman is supposed to be a wizard too, I guess, and so the camera starts glitching out once the Frogman is somewhere in the vicinity, and so I thought that they used that pretty effectively. Like you're not getting a lot of straight on Frogman shots. You're getting like bits of pieces of what you're seeing, and it's all kind of flashes, and like later on Scotty gets attacked at one point, and like the tongue like licks the camera. But there's a ton of these type of movies out where people are trying to get their bones with a easy to make horror film, and then you get some confidence in your filmmaking, and then you make other movies. That is what I think. Like this only needs to capture the horror enthusiasts.
But you got an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, so.
But I mean, who is reviewing this? Like the major review. Like, how many reviews are there? They're like the big newspapers aren't reviewing Frogman. It's going to be like horror websites. It's going to be like niche websites are reviewing this.
But 5 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't agree.
So, again, these are users.
There's a cult following for Frogman.
I like horror films, and I hadn't even heard of Frogman before, so I think there is a very niche audience of this film. How did you hear about it?
Well, I don't know how I knew about Frogman. I think someone told me about him, and the idea, it just made me laugh, because obviously my fear of frogs. Yeah. I was like, I'll leave that in the back burner for some reason, and I'll probably watch it at a later date. But when we were searching for it, there was like Frogman Returns, Frogman 2.
There's like a whole series.
So there's a whole Frogman series.
There's a cinematic universe of Frogman.
I didn't like how it ended. It kind of just, they escaped, and she was on the floor crying, and he's filming her, and she's like, turn it all off. And he's like, we did it. We found Frogman.
Yeah.
Cut to like, now we're in the future. I was like, oh, there's no.
Well, they give you a title
how
card.
How did they get out?
They don't tell
like, how
you.
How did they get out?
We know that Amy made it to LA. I have no faith in Amy's success. In my mind, she became a porn actress. There were 2 people that have captured Frogman on film. Mm-hmm. Dallas and George Hale. And so
George,
Dallas is like obsessed with George Hale too. So that's like one of the boxes he has to check while in Love.
For doing his documentary. Yeah.
What's the name of the town? Loveland. This is a town, much like in Willow Creek last week, that is kind of monetizing their local legend. So like there's stores for Frogman. They've got this little ruse to with a guy in a suit to trick tourists. Like they're banking on Frogman. Wouldn't people know Dallas's name when he came to that town?
Yeah, he should have been like, in Willow Creek, they kept going on about them two guys that filmed Bigfoot and they were like obsessed. That should have been Dallas. Like, he should have been like, the one guy that got really good footage.
Yeah, it was because they're the only two that captured it, right?
Yeah.
They should have known him, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, he was a child. Maybe they were like, we don't know who he looks like.
No, but he says his name when he checks into the B&B.
Yeah, and she should have been like,
That's
oh my God,
true.
it's you. Can I have your autograph? Instead, they're like, no, lady, we're going to go and wreck your hotel room.
Yeah. I was disappointed that they didn't go back to the location where they found Frogman.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Just
they
the
didn't go past the
roadside.
bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it'd be nice if they went there and sort of looked for him in the same space. And like,
He just hangs out
I'm
in
here.
there.
How do you feel about being here after like 10 years or 20 years?
That's what I mean. He had no
Frogman.
plan for this documentary.
Yeah,
he was just winging it.
They should have had a plan. That's why I feel like the ones in Willow Creek, they had...
I felt like they had a shot list beforehand.
Yeah, they had a shot list.
Yeah.
They had a plan. they came up with a solid, what we're going to shoot.
These guys were like just talking to people on the street. There's this like dude with a headband that they start talking to, and then they see him again, and he's got like a stuffed animal frog.
Frogman can read minds, though, don't you?
Yeah,
why.
he's like, Frogman can read minds. He's got like, what's he got on his head?
Like
He's
a
got
tin
metal
foil. Yeah.
Tin foil hat, yeah.
No, later on, the guy's got tin foil because he's like, Frogman can read minds. My question is, so we find out that they are giving women to Frogman to like impregnate. But I'm like, I know we saw the eggs, but would they give birth to tadpoles? Like not fully big eggs?
I thought we saw whatever came out of George's granddaughter. I thought there was some gross... I thought that... Oh, and they said... The cultists say about her being honored to give birth to his polywogs. So I think they're going to give birth to, like, some human frog hybrid that will evolve.
But there was eggs, wasn't there? In another room.
But I thought the eggs were where the... Because they were like the pods. Like, the pregnant women were, like... cocooned up in those. Yeah. And then they pulled her out and she was pregnant, and then I thought some like afterbirth goo came out of her. Yeah.
Yeah.
She gave birth to a little frog baby. You kind of saw it for a split second. And it was like...
It was very, very fuzzy and very dark. Dave's got curtains now, so I can't blame it on that anymore. Also, before they get there, they're like, we got to head to Frogman Point. And it's like the middle of the day, and they're like, it's a mile that way. And then by the time they get there, it's like pitch black. Like it's like the longest mile in existence.
Yeah. And I thought that they were going to like get lost. I thought that was going to be like them getting lost in the woods, and I was like, they didn't bring a tent or anything with them. I thought that they used their like the low budgetness of it well, and they used what they had well, and I felt fairly effective. Like you saw the Frogman straight on, but it wasn't a super long shot. There was a lot of like weird glitchiness in the camera.
And I like that scene as well when they're driving away and the Frogman jumps on the car and you see his face. I mean, like the little Frogman bits I feel were really effective.
Yeah, they were.
They did it in a way to
like I said, the suit was
hide.
really good, and like it was quite effective, but there was just too much in between those bits. And I think from my point, it's the fact that when they've established the characters, they haven't made them likable. So straight away, you're like, well, I don't.
You don't care.
I don't care what happens to them now.
I texted you guys this, but I wrote it down as well. I fully, like, at some point when Amy keeps doing this Norma Jean voice, I was like, I hope she dies first. I'm just so sick of her. She is the villain of this piece to me.
But I mean, like let's just like the genre of found footage.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel because I feel it's true that you can be a bit more forgiving with
Definitely.
filmmaking. Because
And I do forgive a lot more with this kind of thing.
You can be a lot more forgiving when it comes to, like, if this was shot like a regular film in terms of just like your close-ups, your mission, and all that, I don't think it would have worked as well.
No, it wouldn't. It would have been really like cheesy if it was shot like that. But you can definitely get away with it when it's found footage.
It would have been like a 3 or 4 for me if they had done more of the effective part. If they had cut some of this like out in the world character development part and just got more of the like Blair Witchness of it all, where they're like lost in the woods and they're hearing sounds and things, that would have been a very effective, movie for me.
Our journey of Frogman is coming to an end. I can put away the covers and move on with my life. But first off, I want to know who you thought you liked the most in Frogman, and maybe one character you just hated so much because they just wound you up. So Natalie, who do you love in Frogman?
George. Easy.
George
was the hero of this movie. Mm-hmm. He came in to save him at the last minute, just out of nowhere. And like when he turned up, I was like, George is here.
Pulls out a
finally
gun.
Yeah, and just like to save everybody, save these women from like froggy servitude. I don't know. So yeah, George is my favourite. Like sometimes you just need like one of these like older characters that makes it feel a bit more like there's lore behind it all almost.
It's been going on for years, kind of.
Yeah, like makes it a little bit more like real, I suppose. My worst
He was a
character,
grounding force.
Oh, yeah, he definitely was. Like he had just like a mellow attitude that I could get behind.
And I think part of it was, I think he was the best actor in the piece.
Well, yeah, that too. Dallas is my worst. Like, he was just miserable the whole time, even when he was getting what he wanted. Like, his friends have come along with him to help out. He's still miserable. He's, like, pining after Amy, but it didn't really seem like if he put a little bit of effort into it, I'm pretty sure Amy would have, like, been his anyway or whatever. Like, sort of said, actually, yeah, let's give it another go. Like, he's just miserable. Like, he doesn't know how to make a movie. She's like, oh, should we take a picture in front of the Frogman sign? He's like, no. Like, it's just, yeah, I just hated him. I mean, Amy was a close second. I didn't like her either. Scotty was all right. I didn't mind Scotty. He gave it a little bit of, like, comic relief. But, yeah, Amy and Dallas kind of tipped it because it was all his fault for they were there in the beginning. But...
Yeah, Danielle?
I will agree. I don't have to give any more points, but George was my favorite character. And my least favorite for all of the aforementioned points throughout the podcast today was Amy. I disliked her so much. She seemed like an awful friend and a bad actress. And yeah.
I love the guy who was like, Frogman, read your mind. Just because when you see him across the street and he's like, is that guy again? And he's like, Frogman. And he's like, got the little puppet. I was expecting him to maybe like save them in the end. Like maybe you see him come out of nowhere and he's like, I told you. And he like helps them and sacrifices himself. So when we finish up, we think about our rating for this film. So me and Nat go with our limes and Danielle goes for her lemons. So Nat, let's go with what your lime is.
So it would have been a 1. However, I'm boosting it up by a 0.5 to 1.5 because it was quite fun to watch Dave squirm and hide behind a pillow for most of the movie. Because he didn't know when Frogman or just like any random frog memorabilia was going to turn up on screen. So it was like he was on tenterhooks for like the whole film. So yeah, 1.5. Wouldn't watch it again. If I wanted to watch a film that's basically the same, I'd watch Willow Creek.
I gave it a 2. I think I have a lot of grace for low-budget horror films. And like I said, I was on board Woods to the end. I thought it was pretty effective for one of these types of things. But prior to that, too long, didn't like the characters enough. And so I looked back to what I scored last week because I thought that my estimation of that and Willow Creek were about the same. But I'm knocking it down half a point because I like the characters even less than I like the ones from Willow Creek. So 2 lemons. Dave?
I'm going to give it a 3. It scared me. I got freaked out. That's what it was supposed to do. Yes, the characters could have been a bit better. but it did play. I reckon it could have played up to my phobia a little bit more of frogs. I expected it to be like really froggy, and it wasn't as froggy as I thought it was going to be.
Maybe the
which
sequel
made it
will
watchable.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think I will watch the sequel unless I have to. So that wraps up our found footage season. We're done filming our woods shots and crazy camera angles, and we're going to move on to another season of Into the Woods. So we're going to go check out some more Elijah Wood movies next week.
Kind of fitting that we've been in the woods for most of these found footage films, and we're staying here.
We're just in a different context of the woods. And so that is a goodbye from me.
Bye from me.
Bye.